These are ghungroos, the lifeline of a classical dancer like me. And they weigh about 3 kilograms. But when you wear them, you aren't just wearing metal, you bear the weight of a 2,000-year-old civilization. And my generation is on the verge of losing touch with it. India has always been recognized universally for its rich culture, authenticity, and artistic heritage. From literature and languages to architecture and festivals, every part of our culture depicts a story. Stories handed down through generations. And amongst these cultural treasures, Indian classical dance stands out in a unique way. Whether it is Kathak, Satriya, Manipuri, Odissi, Kuchipuri, Bharatanatyam, Kathakali, or Mohiniyattam, each dance form represents a legacy built over eras through rhythm, expressions, and storytelling. But it makes me wonder today, in our rapidly changing global world, do these traditional art forms receive the true value and appreciation which they deserve? With digital trends changing every few seconds, it is evident that our younger generations might sometimes view our cultural traditions as a bit distant from their everyday reality. Let's be honest, we all have become highly influenced by the Western trends, haven't we? And while there is absolutely nothing wrong with appreciating our global culture, some critical questions still remain. Can body movements preserve history? Can rhythm protect identity? Can dance keep a heritage alive? And most importantly, are we losing our grip on our own roots? Talking from my own experiences, I feel that the answer to most of these questions would be a yes. Let me take you through my journey to throw some light on this. Now, guess who that is? You guessed that right. That is me. Around the age of 4, I began learning Kathak, one of India's 8 classical dance forms. And trust me, at that age, it just meant enjoying the music, the movements, and the choreography. When I first started my classes, I did not actually attend them to learn. Instead, I went to spend some time out with my friends, try out fast spins, or maybe practice the quick footwork, even though my feet were barely audible back then like they're now. You see, over a decade, my education has existed in two parallel worlds: the modern academic classroom and the traditional space of Kathak. But as years passed, Kathak revealed itself to be something far greater than just quick spins and fast footwork. It was discipline, it was storytelling, it was history. Today, after more than 12 years of dedication and completing a 5-year degree, I stand here in front of you with a realization. Classical dances are not just about entertainment. They're about showcasing our rich culture and promoting it as well. Now, that is me, along with my friends, under the able guidance of our gurus, trying our best to preserve our culture. You know, there were days when my feet would hurt due to intense footwork practice. Days when the tightness of ghungroos became painful. There were even moments where I had to repeat an entire sequence simply because my expression or eye movement wasn't accurate enough. And how can I forget about the days when the repeated spins would leave my heels bruised? Every classical dancer knows this pain. I still remember the dance class when I repeated the same tihai for several hours just to perfect it. And I often question myself, why does everything need to be so perfect? But today, when I look back at those moments, I feel grateful for them. Because had I not experienced that discipline and struggle, I would never have understood its true beauty, nor realized that it is an integral mirror of the Indian culture, showing me that classical dance is never just dance. Think about it. A dancer can speak 1,000 words without actually uttering a single sound. What a magnificent quality, isn't it? And through this art, the stories survive. And the moment I realized this depth, dance transformed completely from a hobby into a responsibility, a beautiful one. The responsibility of carrying history beneath my feet, culture in my movements, and carrying the legacy to the next generation. It is a sobering irony that while our classical traditions are being studied, practiced, and deeply revered abroad, they are being overshadowed in their own motherland. The growing disconnect between the youth and the traditional art forms is a warning that we cannot ignore. If we continue to look away, what will be left of our cultural footprint? So, to preserve our culture, it is necessary for all of us to become classical dancers. It simply means to become an active audience, which moves away from passive indifference to active appreciation. We're lucky enough to be a part of this era where the technology connects us to the world so easily. But as we embrace our future, we must not leave our roots behind. True progress does not lie in choosing between technology and tradition, but in balancing both. So, the idea which I want to leave with you all today is that the next time you attend a classical performance, look past the silk and the makeup. See the geometry in the posture of the dancer. Listen to the complex fractions in the rhythm. Read the unwritten poetry which their eyes convey. Let us appreciate the richness of our culture because our culture is our identity. Our greatest cultural strength lies in preserving the timeless grace of our classical traditions, turning every generation into a guardian of our living heritage. By breathing life into ancient dance forms, we preserve our cultural soul and step confidently into the age of possibility. Thank you.